Yeah, it's got ice coming down. Hi, welcome back to Homestead to Health. It's actually the next evening after the storm, and here we are. We got a little bit of road rash on our face, huh? We're a princess. Your name's not Caitlin, that's my name. I've got my pig pail, also known as an Easter basket, and I'm headed towards the pigs. So I kind of wanted to talk about the storm that came, because do things ever just fall in line for you where it kind of like poetically just speaks truth into your life? Maybe I'm a little dramatic, but I've had the worst string of luck. If you've been watching, you know that I've had so many animal deaths. I've just had some things come up that were just severely unlucky. And you know what I think it is I think it's a little bit of karma for, by the way, I'm sorry, this is probably extremely shaky. Hold on, let me show you showing the feeding the pigs. She already knows. Come on, big girl. There you go. Don't think they're gonna like the oranges, but we'll see. What do y'all think, huh? So my chickens have finally gotten used to their little chicken run here. It's not a big deal, nothing too serious. I mean, zip ties and T-posts, but they're happy, they're safe, and at the very last minute, they've been getting into my shade box garden, so they really proved the need for a chicken run, didn't y'all? Purdy's currently in the goat pen learning some respect. She's been messing with the goats a lot and nipping at them and stuff. Only whenever they're on the milk station, and that's kind of a jerk move there, huh, Purdy? She's like, let me out. Looking a lot different than it did last night. I love that it's filling in and it's so lush and green. Can't wait until my garden looks the exact same. This is also going to get really thick and lush. So Purdy isn't the only one around here who's been learning some pretty hard lessons. As you know, as I said, I've had a lot of animals die, and I think that it might honestly at this point be some kind of karma. So I said in one of my very first vlogs that whenever I went to go keep animals, that I just had all of this swirling information in my mind. Every time I went to endeavor on a new animal, that I had so much information that it was like I was drowning in information, and I was almost too scared to move, to take the plunge, to keep that animal. And I equated it to even knowing what kind of breeds of chicken there are, or types of breeds and stuff. And I said, well, to me it's a lot like I've kept a dog my whole life. I don't know everything that could go wrong with the dog. I don't know all of the breeds of a dog and what they're known for, but I still do a really great job taking care of my dogs. And Fate was like, you a fool. So, man, I had to move the camera because my light was fading on that side, and I want to make sure that I'm seen well. But yeah, so I think this is my karma for that, for kind of being like, yeah, just fly by the seat of your pants, because that's so who I am. That is my character. I'm very much a learn by experience kind of person, and let me tell you, I have gained so much experience and heartache, but mostly I'm gonna focus on the experience of it all. I have gained lots of experience in this season of my life, particularly about the animals. Last year I dedicated most of my, I guess, brain power, my research and stuff, I dedicated that mostly to plants. And honestly, I feel like this year I haven't really learned anything new about plants as much as I would love to. I do have some reading resources that I like to thumb through, some general farming and homesteading books that I like to learn more, dive into, and things like that. However, I haven't had the time to because I've been so wrapped up in animals, and I love my animals. All of this turmoil surrounding my animals has really just bonded the fact that I'm very much dedicated to my animals. This is exactly what I want to do, and it's been tough. It's been really tough. And I know on the last vlog that I said that I was in a better place, and I really am. I just wanted to touch on the fact that when that storm hit and it was like knocking stuff off, and it knocked the roof off the coop, and I was like looking into the coop, and I saw these eggs that I otherwise probably would have missed, and I never would have known that Olive had her little secret egg stash. But it immediately in my head, it was such a good thing. It was normally something that I'd been like, oh man, the roof is off, and I would have probably moaned about it quite a bit. But I think my perspective has shifted, and so now these things happen, and I almost more naturally see the good in these things. And that's just not typically who I am. I'm very self-aware. I even said as part of my New Year's resolutions that I wanted to be a less negative person, because my default is kind of just set to negative. Not always, not as bad as it could be, but I do find myself naturally being like, why me? So it just so happens that that storm blowing the coop off, and it kind of solidified in my mind that storm that I went through of the animal deaths and everything else, that was purposeful. It had its place. It was a big teaching moment that I needed as a farmer, as somebody who cares for animals. I needed to learn those hard lessons of you can't always fly by the seat of your pants, and even if I could have prevented some things, they just happen, and you have to become seasoned to it, and it's a game of wisdom, it's a game of knowledge. I told Richard, my husband, now I've come to this point where if I go outside and I see a need, I immediately feel that need. Used to, I would go outside, and if I saw like the goats had knocked something over and their mineral bucket was thrown all over the floor or ground, I probably would be like, oh no, I'll get to it whenever it's more convenient for me, and just things like that. You know, I just learned that if you don't handle things immediately, it's going to turn right around and bite you in your peach-sized hiney. So I hope that encourages you. I hope that encourages you that if you're going through a really tough time right now with farming, parenting, whatever. Me right now, I'm still going through the parenting storm. If you saw my youngest, oh my gosh, she has road rash on her face because we went to go check the mail, and I was like, nobody run, y'all are all clumsy, don't run. And she ran, and she tripped, and she's got road rash now on her face. So anyways, there's always going to be a hard road, always. If life was easy, it probably wouldn't be worth it. So I encourage you, keep going, keep trucking along. I do want to say one awesome thing, but let me show you something.
She's the greatest puppy in the world. Psh, psh. Yeah, it's George. Psh, psh. Waggy butt. Psh, psh. Who's the best girl in the world, Georgie? Huh? Who? You? Wow.
Look at that blank slate. Well, not too blank, there's weeds. So this right here is a trellis, and I built this trellis for light melons and cucumbers and things like that. I haven't put anything down yet, so I'm not totally sure what's down. As you can see, it's a little wobbly. I'm gonna wait until I have a second pair of hands. This I try to do completely on my own, but it's just cumbersome, and so I'm gonna wait until Richard's home, which he comes home tomorrow. So by the time you see this, he'll be home, and I'm gonna try my absolute darndest to get a video of me making our second one. So this one is kind of loose right now, but even though it's not as sturdy as it could possibly be, it withheld that massive storm that came through. And I think that once I get a second pair of hands on this and we do some troubleshooting ideas, I think not only is this one going to be able to stand the test of time as far as this growing season goes, but I think that I'll have enough knowledge to make one and share it with you guys. Also, if I can squeeze in here, Wednesday, today's Monday, so Wednesday I will be putting my garden in, if the weather allows. I'll be putting my garden in, and I'll probably be back on camera around the same time Wednesday showing it. Look at this smile, I'm so excited. But yes, this is the last time you are going to see this garden as an empty space. But this week there's just going to be so much happening. You should know that whenever my husband's home, that I get a lot done. I have a honey-do list, I have a me-do list, and we just kind of like crank things out. So I'm excited to share with you over this week what's coming, if I can share a craft or something with you, what's going to go in my garden. So now's an awesome time to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to go back inside before my kids burn the house down, but I hope this video has left you feeling encouraged and excited. Thanks for hanging out with me all. I'll see you later.